Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we will be doing something a little bit different. I will show you I don't know how many books I bought this year, but all the books that I bought this year. We can count it at the end of this and I can give you the full number. I know it also looks like it's nighttime. It is not nighttime. It is very misty and foggy outside. It is honestly not that late yet, so I think before it gets even darker, because it's the winter time, it gets dark really fast. Let's go and pick out all the books that I have in my library that I bought this year, and let's talk through some of them. Although I do not have all of them physically with me because I think I donated a couple already, or like a few. I'm not sure how many though. But let's just go ahead and pick out all the books, and then I will go through them by months, and yeah, let's just get on into it. Now that I'm well and truly surrounded with books, I will go through them one by one. I'm sitting right here and I'm surrounded by books. There's another book there. Don't look at how messy it is, but let's just go through them by months. Although I feel like it's really dark. I just want to check. Can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can see. It can be just like a cozy little thing right now. I'm going to show you per month. And the thing with that is so easy to track because I have my reading journal and I always write down what I bought. So I bought about 64 books, and I think I will show you more than 64 because some of these are gifted to me, and I also have the whole entirety of Harry Potter series that I'm not gonna take down because I have so many decorations all around it. So that will be coming in August, but let's just go through January first. I think the lighting is a little bit better. Before, I feel like it was too dark, although it's not too dark in real life, but I think the camera picking it up very dark. So let's go through them. In January, I bought 9 books. The first book I got is Sula by Toni Morrison. I have been wanting to read something by Toni Morrison, although I still have not read this book. Considering how skinny it is, I feel like I really need to start picking book up. Although I did like a little mini TikTok the other day, and from all the books that I read, all the books that I bought, I read about like 55 to 60% of the books that I bought. So I have 40% left. Honestly, kind of an accomplishment because I don't know, I just feel like it is. And then moving on, I got A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman. Loved this book. I read this book, enjoyed it. I cried. I'm not a book crier, so the fact that I cried to this is it just shows how emotional this book is. The next book I got is A Court of Blood and Bindings. Oh, without A. Just Court of Blood and Bindings. Loved the Fae Isle series. I loved the first 4 books, I think, or the first 3 books, and the 4th book was a little bit meh, a little bit like it dragged a little bit and it ended too fast. So really enjoyed the first one though. The next book I got is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. Have not read this, but I will read it very soon because it is in my yearly TBR, which means I have to read this no matter what. And the next 3 books I have over here, they're all Brandon Sanderson's books. I have Warbreaker, which I still have not read, but want to pick up very soon because this is how I continue in the Cosmere, which is finishing the first Mistborn trilogy, and then I will go to Warbreaker. And the other two books, it's the second and third book in the Mistborn trilogy, which is The Well of Ascension. Loved this book. But this book, even better, which is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. So that is January. Honestly, I feel like it's not the worst. February, I didn't buy any books, which honestly is a good accomplishment for me because I feel like I am not as crazy about my book buying this year, but I feel like it's still crazy enough that I bought 60 books compared to last year. I think last year I bought so many more books. I think I bought like over 100 books, which is not smart. Let's just say it like that. And next year I will try and buy books, like buy under 30-40 books. We shall see what the number is. But let's move on to March. In March, I bought 8 books. Let me gather them and then I will show you. So, the books in March. I have The Reappearance of Rachel Price. I actually read this when it came out. Really enjoyed Holly Jackson's new book. And this is like a year later and I just want to have it in my physical TBR. So I did not read it this year. I read it last year and I want to have a physical copy of the book. Same goes with the next two I have, which is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. I remember this is one of my favorite contemporary romance books back in the day. Is it still my favorite? Probably not, but I have the first two. No, the first and the third book, and I thought I really like Lauren Asher's writing. Recently, all her like what is it called? The new series, the trilogy, I think. The first two I have read and they're both 5 stars, and I just want to see if the third one will be 5-star too. I have not managed to read it, but I will see if I will give it a 5-star as well and if I will get the copy for that as well. The next book that I got that I read probably like 2 years ago, which is Loath to Love You. I want to have all Ali Hazelwood's books, so I just bought this. I also got all the books that I read. Usually I try to get it secondhand or in a charity shop. That's why it's been like a year or 2 years ago that I read it, but I still want to have it. But I just happened to see it in a charity shop and I thought, you know what? I might actually get it for my personal library. So yeah, the next 5 books, I only have 4 because the other one I already donated. So let's start with the donated one, which is In the Weeds by BK Borison. It is in the Love Light Farm series. I have not read Love Light Farms, but I read the spring one, which is In the Weeds. I hated that book. That book had no chemistry, no nothing. It's just a huge miscommunication trope. Although I read First Time Caller, enjoyed it so much more than In the Weeds, but I feel like I'm not sure if I'm into BK Borison yet. I want to read Love Light Farm this year though, so we shall see. But the next book that I have is Business Casual, which I think is either the winter one or the fall ones. No, I think it's winter. No, winter is obviously Love Light Farm. So this is probably summer. I have actually no idea, guys, but I have Business Casual by BK Borison. And then moving on, I have Guilt by Revan Kennedy, which is the first book in the Plated Prisoner series. And it's, I think, 6 books long or 5 books long. I read the 4th book and decided to just stop with the series. I did not enjoy it. I feel like I want to donate this because I can have more space for new books that I will love more. But we shall see. As in, so far, I really enjoyed the 2nd and the 3rd book. The 4th book was really meh for me, so we shall see if I keep this one. Moving on to the next book is the 2nd book in Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I read Blood and Ash probably like 2 years ago or a year ago maybe. Yeah, and loved it, but I don't know why I didn't continue to the 2nd one because probably I was in so many different series at that time. Not that I'm in less series now. I feel like I'm in more series, but this will go into my yearly TBR for next year, which is like, I think the last book, which is A Primal of Bone and something. I'm not sure, but I will finish that series. So I will be reading this next year. And the last book I have is the first book in the Veronica Speedwell series, which is A Curious Beginning by Deanna Rayborn. Loved this. I really enjoyed like the mystery aspect of it. I know it's like a really long series and I would love to read all of them, but I feel like I'm not always in the mood for a mystery, so that's why I have not been continuing it. Okay, so now let's move on to April's books. So I don't know what happened in April, but I blacked out and I bought 14 books. It's a lot. Considering, I think I noticed that in February I didn't buy anything. So I was like, you know what? just gonna buy more because my quota for February is not used up. So I feel like I can use it in April, which is a wrong mindset. Do not do that. But let's go through the 14 books that I have. Starting off here, which is Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. Enjoyed Crimson Moth, but not like absolutely loved it or anything like that. But I apparently had to get this whenever it came out on April. So I got it, have not read it. And it is the wrong hardcover that I have as well. So I think eventually I will probably donate this and get the same one from Crimson Moth. Wait, I can show you. So this is what it looked like side by side. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel, but we shall see. Maybe I get one or I donate both. We'll see. The next one I got is a book that I thoroughly enjoyed, which is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. I think this is one of the books that I annotated this year and tabbed like insane. I don't know if you guys can see it because the spray edges, but really enjoyed this one. And then the book that I got next is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I just sadly did not enjoy this one, but I still kept it because I have so many Emily Henry's books. But I feel like if I feel like I need more space in my physical library, this could be a contender of the books that I might be donating. So yeah, it's kind of sad because I truly think the premise was really good. And I feel like it is a little bit like like Taylor Jenkins Reid, because it's a little bit like that. But I feel like, I don't know, she just didn't execute it as well as Taylor Jenkins Reid. Not that I'm like comparing, but I feel like the genre is very Taylor Jenkins Reid. So I don't know. Moving on to the next one I got is Watch Me by Tara Muffy. I finished the Shatter Me series last year, I think, and I was like, okay, I want more from this author. So she released a new book, and I think it is connected to the Shatter Me series, which I think this is called the New Republican series. So it is still in the same Shatter Me world, just a few years later. I don't know how many years later, but quite a bit later. And we are following what's his name actually? James. We're following James Anderson, which is the half brother of Aaron Warner and the brother of, I'm not sure, Juliet's first love. I don't know what his name is though. Adam? I think it's Adam. Yeah. So yeah, I think I enjoyed this. I feel like the second book and the continuing book will probably be really good. So I am looking forward to that. We have The Women by Kristen Hanna. I also annotated and tabbed this book. You guys probably cannot, oh, you guys can see it pretty well. My first Kristen Hanna book. Love it. I think it was a 5-star for me, and I definitely want to pick up The Nightingale. It's just that I need to prepare mentally because it is kind of scary because I don't know, I just feel like her books are very emotionally taxing. Let's just say it like that. So I'm pretty nervous in picking it up. The next book I got it in April, but I did not receive it until I think like September, if I'm not wrong. But it is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I regret honestly getting this copy. This is the Illumicrate copy. Although it's very beautiful, it's just that I think I like the normal cover more. So I don't know, I feel like I could definitely sell this because I feel like people would want this, and especially if I like the other cover more. So we shall see if I do that or not, but I think it will be an interesting read. I still have not read it. Same thing, this is like the book that are like anticipated, and now that I have the book, I feel like I'm too intimidated to start it. So yeah, not good. Next one is, I've heard about dark romance, the genre, and a lot of people say it's so good, so you need to pick it up. And one of the famous authors from that genre is Rena Kent. So I think it's called Legacy of Gods series. This is the first book, which is God of Malice. I don't know what it's about. Frankly enough, I am very nervous in getting into dark romance because I feel like I'm not into dark romance. I read Haunting and Hunting Adeline and got absolutely traumatized. I would not recommend if you are not into dark romance and start with that. I feel like Haunting Adeline was okay. Borderline, I was like, I don't think this is for me. If it is for you though, you do you. I will never judge anyone who reads anything because, I mean, it's whatever you want, it's reading. But the second one was pretty dark and it was fine. It was not good or anything like that. I binged 2 books in 2 days, which I don't know, in hindsight, probably not the smartest thing. But anyway, moving on to the next one though. This book, I think, I'm not sure if it's a 5-star. I think it's close to a 5-star, but not quite. It is Blood Over Bright Haven by Emma Wong. I know this author is very famous for The Sword of Kaigen, which is her other book. I think this is the newest release. So yeah, I definitely want to pick up The Sword of Kaigen soon, but I really, really enjoyed this book. This book was very intricate. The magic system is very epic fantasy, and I feel like I've never read any magic system like this. It was pretty complicated, but it is still digestible, I feel like. And also I like the topics that it touched on. But yeah, definitely one of my top reads of the year. Moving on, the next one I have is Bride of the Shadow King by Sophia Mercedes. Have not read this. I really want to read this very soon though. I feel like it's a very wintry book as well. I don't know why. So I will be picking this up probably sometime soon this winter. Moving on to I have 3 more books, and all 3 books are, I think, 5 stars. So the first one is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I love Abby Jimenez's writing style. I love her romance is always so emotional. I'm always so connected to some of the characters. I really like this. Although this book is a little bit of a trauma dump, and this book is very, I don't know, I just feel very sad for our characters because they're going through a lot in this book. I feel like Abby Jimenez will never fail me so far, at least all the 7 books that she's out with, and like the novellas that she's out with, I just thoroughly enjoyed them. So I will probably continue reading her books and hopefully rating all of them 5 stars. The next 2 books I have is the second and the third book in the Prison Healer series, which is The Gilded Cage and The Blood Traitor. I also hate that I have 2 different sizes of book. I think this is like larger paperback and this is the actual paperback, but I cannot sell it or buy a new copy because I annotated it, although I definitely could because I do not have a lot of annotations when it comes to The Gilded Cage, but I just love how slow burn it is. I just love anything slow burn. So, and this book is like very slow burn. I know a lot of people's beef when it comes to this book is just that nothing's happening and it got boring. But for me, I love the tension. I think because in April, I bought so many books. In May, I was like, okay, let's rein it in. So I got 2 books. One of them I already donated. It is from Illumicrate. It's The Raven's Collar, I think. I'm not sure by who. I think it's Antonia Hodgson. It could be close, but I don't think so. Yeah, that's the first book I got because it's from my Illumicrate subscription. And the second book I got is City of Brass, or The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I hope I'm not butchering that, but I've heard so many good things about this. I saw it in a charity shop. It was pretty cheap, I think. So I got it. Yeah, it was €3.50. And I was like, okay, I mean, let's pick it up and see if I like it. If I don't like it, it's not the end of the world because I didn't spend a fortune on it. For example, like Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I really hope that I like that book though. But yeah, that's May. And for June, I only got 1 book, which honestly kind of proud. It is The Things We Water by Mariana Zapata. Actually, in May, I wanted to do a book buying ban, but all of a sudden the news of Mariana Zapata is coming out with a book, and it's coming out like next week. I just have to break my book buying ban because Mariana Zapata is probably one of my favorite author of all time. I do not have a lot of her physical copies though, just because I have read all of them and I feel like I don't know if I need to get a new one specifically because I already read them on Kindle. I just want to collect them eventually, so if I see them in charity shop or in secondhand store, I will get it. So I'm looking out for them, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way and get a new book when it comes to the books, so to say. Although recently I really have an urge to reread all her entire backlist because her books are pretty thick, like 800, 700 pages long. But the thing is, I just love the tension and the slow burn. And yeah, she's probably one of my favorite contemporary romance authors. So in July, I bought 2 books. Honestly, kind of proud. I bought these 2 books because I went to TK Maxx and saw them and I've heard of them. I don't think, like, one of them I have read and one of them I have not read. I'm waiting for the perfect time to read the other one. But the thing is, I feel like I know that August was going to be a big book purchase month because August is my birthday month. So I thought like I could just treat myself a little bit. So yeah, July I bought 2 books, which is How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang. I read this. I don't know if I enjoy it necessarily. I definitely would want to donate this one if I don't have any space. I know I keep saying like I would donate, but I'm not donating it yet because I don't know. I just feel like I like to collect over 20 books that I want to donate and then donate all in one go, and instead of just donating one each month kind of thing. So yeah, How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang will probably get donated very soon. It's not that it's really bad, but it's just nothing crazy good or bad. It's just very, when I look at this book, it's just meh. Do I remember the whole scope of the story? Not really. I remember the premise because it was quite crazy. I feel like it could be, if you connect with the characters, this could be a really good read, but I sadly did not connect with the characters at all. The next one I got is Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. I feel like this book is very spring, so I bought it in the intention to read it next spring. So we shall see if I read it, if I get to it next spring. But yeah, I really want to try and minimize my TBR though. I feel like every year I keep buying new books. Yes, I read them, but also I still have books from like 2-3 years ago that I still have not read. So I really want to go through some of my backlist, some of the books that I have had for like a few years already, but still have not read. And I think next year, probably, if I don't read any of them, I'm going to be donating them because if I'm not going to read it after 4 years, I'm never going to read it. So yeah. That is the plan. So moving on to August, I have a lot of books in August. And also in August, I got gifted many books because it was my birthday. And yeah, so let's just go through the books that I did get with my own money, so to say. And then we can talk through the books that I did not buy that month, but received. Another book that I missed in January, I think it was Twilight. I was looking at the list and I noticed that I didn't talk about Twilight, although I read it recently and I bought it in January. So another book to add to the January pile. I bought in total 11 books. I bought The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I read the first book and the third book in the, what is it called actually? Glen Graves series or Panhallow series, I'm not sure, but love the first book and the third book, so I thought I will be reading the second book. And I feel like I love this like witchy kind of October-y book, so I decided to just get it because I know I will enjoy it. Did I enjoy it as much as the first and the third? I don't think so. But do I still want to have it in my collection? I think so. The next book I got is the book that I just keep because of the cover. I was contemplating on donating it, which is Rewitch by Lucy Jane Wood. A lot of people love this book, but I feel like I just did not connect with this book at all. It's so like all over the place, I feel like, for me, the pace and the characters. And I feel like I don't love the romance and I don't love whatever is happening with her because it didn't seem like crazy. It didn't seem cozy either. I don't know. Just, I did not love this book, but I loved the cover. So I don't know. I feel like it's not, I cannot justify keeping a book just because of the cover, but I think my collection's not so full yet. So I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it as long as I can. But I feel like who's going to stop me if I'm going to keep this just because of the cover? No one. So maybe I'll keep it. Moving on to the next book though, a full 180 from that book. I love this book. This is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I think it's so cozy. I love the trope in this. There's this specific micro trope that I love in books, and it happens here, and I just love it. So I'm not going to tell you because I think it could be a spoiler. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it at that. The next one I got is a book I really enjoyed, which is A Dowry of Blood by Esther Gibson. It's about Dracula's mistresses, I think, or like wife, Constanta. and his other lovers. I really enjoyed this. For someone who hasn't read Dracula or in the middle of reading Dracula, I feel like it's really interesting take in Dracula's lovers, I guess. I don't know if in Dracula he has lovers because I'm not that far into Dracula, but I feel like it's really interesting how Dracula is pictured here. And yeah, really enjoyed this one. Okay, my leg is killing me, so I'm gonna lean back a little bit. I hope you guys cannot, I hope I'm not slouching or anything like that, but let me continue. I have Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Röhrich. I think that's how you say it. I don't know how you say it. I think I said it German way, but I've heard a lot of good things about this series, so I really want to pick this one up. Moving on to the next books, I am currently trying to finish the Cassandra Clare's world, or the Shadowhunter world. So I read the Bane Chronicles, enjoyed Magnus's story. I really, really love Magnus, I think. Magnus is definitely one of my favorite characters. So reading all his like small stories, all short stories everywhere is really, really interesting. And moving on to the next one, because I think I'm following a reading order, and I finished with The Eldest Curses, which is Magnus and Alex's story. And I think right now I am going to the Dark Artifice series. I know this is the third book, I think. I think the first book is called Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, which is the second one. And then the third one is Queen of Air and Darkness. I could be very wrong in that, but I am really intrigued in the series because a lot of people love the series. So yeah, if it's anything like the Clockwork, what is it called? The Infernal Device series, I will read it. I will read it. Honestly, I did not love the Mortal Instrument series as much as the Infernal Devices, but the Infernal Devices was such a crazy trilogy. I loved that trilogy. So moving on to the next three books I have. It's like mini books. It is like Little Black Classic, it's called. I have Jane Austen's The Beautiful Cassandra. I read this, did not enjoy it. I feel like if I could donate this, I would, but it's like such a cheap classic that you can definitely just, I think it's like €1 or something. I'm not sure. And then I have Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. Really enjoyed this one as well. And the last one I have not read, but it's The Night is Darkening Around Me by Emily Bronte. It's just that the thing is I'm very nervous. I'm very intimidated by classics. So I just thought maybe Little Black Classics will get me into like full-length classics, which I think it definitely did. It lessened the intimidation a little bit. The last book I got in August is a 5-star read, which is Shield of Sparrows by Daphne Perry. I've never read anything by Daphne Perry before this. I know she has a lot of contemporary romance, but honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I don't know if this is like her first debut romantasy, but it's really interesting. I cannot wait for the second book. Moving on to the books that I received that month. I received the entirety of the Harry Potter series. So I have that somewhere. I'm not going to put it down because, like I said, I have a lot of decorations around it. I'm not going to put it down. But I have all 7 books. And then I also got Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score, which I still have not read. Would love to read soon though. I got The Favorites by Elaine Vargo. One of my 5-star book of the year. And I got Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I also got one of my favorite Halloweeny book, I think, which is A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kinney. So yeah, that was that. Moving on to September, I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 books over here. So the first book I got is from a charity shop, and it is Breaking Dawn. I feel like I need to sell this or redonate and get the paperback because I have New Moon, which I will show you in a bit, which I did not buy this month. I think I bought it in October. But I have those 2 in paperbacks, and I found this in hardcover. So we shall see if I keep this or not, or if we change everything to hardcover. We shall see. And then I got Heavenly Bodies by Imani Iriu. I have heard so many good things about this. I think either the second book is out or is coming out very soon. I just have so many books I still have to read. I do want to prioritize this because a lot of people say this is like a 6-star read for them. So, but I feel like the cover screams winter. So maybe I'll read it in winter. I don't know. I'm a very mood reader. Like I can set a TBR and not read it at all. That's why yearly TBR works so well for me because I have so much time to mood read outside of that. So yeah, the next two books I got is a heavy one. It is the second and the third book in the Crescent City series. Oh my gosh, it's actually pretty heavy. Second one is House of Sky and Breath, and the third one is House of Flame and Shadow. So yeah, again, like I said, I really want to finish the Crescent City series next year. So we shall see if I get to finish it next year or if I just read one of them. We shall see. I have 3 more books. The last like proper book, for a lack of better word, is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. I bought this for a readathon that I did for October. Did not manage to read this, but I did read quite a bit in that readathon, so it was okay in the end. I will probably read it next October. We shall see. I don't know, maybe I'm in the mood for like fake dating trope, witch and demon style, so we shall see. The next 2 books I got is a graphic novel, which is Garlic and the Vampire and Garlic and the Witch by Brie Paulson. Loved these books. I read both of them, I think, I don't know, 4 or 5 times already. So yeah, I have not reread it this year. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, but we shall see. Okay, that was September. Quite a bit of books already, but I think now we can move on to October, which I don't think I bought that many books. Wait, no, honestly, not that many. I bought Anne of Green Gables. It's probably because I started Dracula and I was like, yes, I'm reading classic. I'm enjoying this. So I was like, okay, let me pick up Anne of Green Gables because I've been wanting to read it and I just really want to get to the fall book. If you guys can see, oh my gosh, the cover. And again, I got this in a charity shop, so it's not that expensive, which what justified this purchase, so to say. Moving on to the next book is If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. An appreciation for the cover. It's so beautiful. The illustration, the color, everything. Is so good. And the last book I bought in October is New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. We shall see when I will read this. Maybe soon, hopefully soon. Okay, moving on to November, I bought 3 books. So, first one I got is Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice. Again, do I need to explain why I'm buying all these classics? It's because I read Dracula and I was like, I'm on a roll. I need to buy and read more classic. So, that's what I did. Have I read this? Nope. So, we shall see when I get to that, but I will get to it eventually. And then I got another classic, which is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen as well. The thing is, this cover is so cute, and it is, let me show you. It's like smaller, so to say. I feel like it's so cute, so I just had to buy it. And eventually my long-term goal is to read all 6 Jane Austen's full-length novel. So I will do that eventually. And the next book I got is Kristen Hanna. Same with Kristen Hanna. I want to I want to read all her backlist. So I'll be reading this eventually, which is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. So moving on to December. I think December is, I bought quite a bit of books just because I did like, let's go book shopping with me. So I did buy quite a bit. Most of this are secondhand, which I like, which I am grateful for. My bank is probably really happy it's not breaking the bank. But also I really like buying books secondhand because I don't feel like the need to get a new one anyway. Unless it's like heavily annotated, then I would rather get like a clean one, so to say, because I don't want my thoughts to be influenced with other people's thoughts. So like for my first time reading, second time, I don't really care because I already formed the thoughts. But I know this video is getting long, so let's just get into it. The first one I got is purely because of the cover, and I've heard about it, of course. It's Green Glass House by Kate Milford. I think it's like a children's book, if I'm not wrong. I could be very wrong, but this is a very old book, and I'm just intrigued. I mean, it looks very wintry. It's very snowy, and I feel like I will absolutely eat it up. Like, none of these books I have read, so I cannot show you more than the cover or tell you more about the book other than the name and the author. So let's just go through them really fast. I have Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I also have this book, which is pretty daunting, Stephen King's 11/22/63. All I know is it's about JFK assassination and what if you can travel back in time and prevent it. So I feel like it's pretty interesting. The next one I got is This Woven Kingdom by Tahira Mafi. Again, like I said with Watch Me, I want to read more of her series because I enjoyed the Shatter Me series. So I picked up this Woven Kingdom. I got this one because I heard of it and I read the back and I feel like it's pretty interesting. So it's A Tribute of Fire by Soraya Wilson. I think that's how you say the author's name. Really intrigued in this one. So we shall see when I get to pick this one up. We got a Russian folklore, I think, or based by it. It's The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I have never read anything Russian inspired, so I feel like this will be a very interesting read. I'm very intrigued in this one. The next one I got is Dire Bound by Sable Sorensen. Again, on TikTok, so many people are talking about this, so I'm intrigued. So obviously I picked this one up. We shall see. I know this is about like werewolves or dire wolves. I don't know exactly what the difference is between dire wolves and werewolves, but I mean, I got the book. If I read it, I probably will know what the difference are. The next one is a book that I've heard a lot of people talk about, which is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabata Here. It's a quartet, 4 books, and I feel like if I love the first book, I will probably eat up the rest. So I think it's like Middle Eastern inspired, if I'm not wrong. And I know I love the other cover, but I think right now they're only publishing these books near me, but I feel like the spine will connect, so it'll be really cool. The last book I bought this year is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I love Rebecca Ross, and I thought, you know what, let's go back and read some of her backlist, because obviously if I love the Letters of Enchantment series, I want to go back and read more from her. So yeah, that's why I have A River Enchanted. So that is all the books that I got in 2025. Is it? Yeah, it's 2025. Honestly, kind of crazy. I did not think that I would go so unhinged and buy so many. Although I feel like in the grand scheme of things, I definitely buy less and read more this year, which is good. But goal of next year is definitely to buy less and read more of my physical TBR, which I did. But I want to read more of my physical TBR because I hate it when I just have too many, because no one needs so many unread books in their collection. So yeah, for sure, for the next, I feel like 3 months or maybe 2 months, I will go on a book buying ban. Yeah, I don't know. We shall see if we do a book buying ban, but I definitely want to buy less and consciously pick and choose what I buy, because I feel like I do not need this many books. I do love reading physically, and the library near me, they don't really have a great selection, really, so I cannot really borrow anything, but I can definitely just get it on Kindle Unlimited and just read it there to save like some money, and I don't need to consume this many books like physically. So yeah, I think that's all that I have for today. It is quite a lengthy video, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and this holiday season. It is getting dark pretty soon or pretty early in the day, but I feel like you can cozy up with the fairy lights and the lights outside and the Christmas markets outside. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I will probably catch you in my next one. Goodbye.